Hello, CBC people and newsroom. I would like to pass along an idea to you, and it's in lieu of Autism Awareness Month. Um, what I know and see as an adult is, let's say nothing short of bigotry and lack of education, especially here in Edmonton. I'm 44. I am diagnosed with ADHD and autism. What I see online in concerns of education and in concerns of what I have, most of the time the educational parts, be it videos or otherwise, depict small boys less of teenage years. And if it's anything adult, then, let's just say it's often on the more severe end of the spectrum, where someone may be nonverbal or let's just say their cognitive aptitude will never ever allow them to know the know or understand the what's going on out there. Like they're not able to conceive or understand what's going on around them. So the ability of living on their own independently will never happen. Um, when it comes to someone like me who's married, is very independent, has a husband, two cats, uh, but also has PDD, what is given is doesn't suit the need. Um, and what I have experienced in the PDD end of things is that what I get here in Edmonton does not match or suit my needs. What I need is a disability skills coach or someone that has a background in behavioral management type things who can teach me proper communication skills or proper socialization skills or teach me new tools on how to self-regulate the social anxiety, which I also suffer on top of it. Um, or tools on how to better associate with people and read body language properly. All of these I'm pretty much blind to. And it's troubling when you can't get a job, when someone basically tells you straight to your face, because you're honest about what you have, that you need accommodations in concerns of certain jobs or certain environments for which you apply for. And they call you a liability straight to your face. Here's another part. I go to a restaurant that might be crowded or otherwise, and uh, both me and my husband have faced this, and we get waitresses and or waiters or average people saying, funny, you don't look autistic, or funny, you don't look disabled, when, as you can see, there is no real look to autism or disability, because even though one has AIDS, they can still be normal. Not all disabilities are seen. I don't use aids. I don't need a hearing aid. I don't need a cane to help me find my way or find, things. I'm not in a chair. I don't look or sound disabled in any way. What I have is a neurological cognitive deficit for which not only puts me in a league of my own in concerns of disability, because what I have is a spectrum disorder. So how it affects one person is not going to be how it affects another. Mainstream society actually thinks that what I have is a boy's disability. So girls are generally diagnosed very late in life. I was 39. I had trouble going through school all my years. I was always bullied. Statistics say that the average girl that has what I have often are tomboys. Girls are also taught that they should be more, they should assimilate. So we copycat other people's actions just to look or sound normal. And that's the other reason why girls are diagnosed so late in life. I was in special needs classes my whole entire young years. And, well, let's just say, for lack of better words, I was the smartest monkey in a barrel full of apes. And that was because I had a very strong willed mother who taught me how to be independent and how to fight for what I believe in and not give up. And what I have an idea for is that we have a segment through CBC, be it a radio station or even through your news on TV, and we do a segment all on about autism awareness and have different facets of autism be interviewed. And you can start with me. I've got friends that would probably be willing to talk that are all high functioning like me. And you can ask them questions on how does autism affect them. And you would learn that not all of us are the same. That's why they call it a spectrum disorder. The other part of it is that there should be more studies and more programs out there that fit the needs of people with disabilities. What people like me need is individualized services that are based on diagnosis and as well as ability, um, and as well as interest, health, age. All of these have to be a factor for proper programs. Here in Edmonton, everything is run off of a funnel system for which where picture the top part of a funnel being a huge classroom. Quite often you're put in to situations where you're the only one that is independent, and you're much older and you understand more than what most of these people will ever comprehend or understand. Um, Many of them come from or still live at home or come from group homes, and there's a reason why they're there. Many of them are not independent. Many of them have guardians or legal guardians or trustees that basically tell them what to do, whereas I don't. Um, I was grandfathered into PDD, so that means that I have PDD, but my PDD resources does not fit my needs, for which I get an HCA handed to me. HCA, or healthcare aid, as better known, are trained for more of the physical attributes of disability, as in people who use canes or walkers that can't or have a hard time doing things for themselves in the physical sense, like, say, brushing your hair or wiping your butt or bathing, all of which I don't need help in. HCAs are very little trained in the way of high function needs like my own, and they have. That's when you become the teacher, when it should be the worker that's the teacher, to teach you proper communication skills, socialization skills, life skills in general. A lot of life skills that kids get, I still need, because what I have is a lifelong disability. So that means that what goes to children ends at 18. And what I have that children get should be lifelong, but they should also gear it towards age, ability, diagnosis, and where the person sits in life and where the person wants to be. Because what I need can also be transferred into jobs, because if you are blind to society norms, as in those stupid little invisible rules that people expect you to know and do, I'm blind to them. Girls are taught to assimilate, so therefore I can copycat all your little body movements, and I can basically pretend my way out of a conversation. But unfortunately, when it comes to job situations, that's where I fail. because not only are the rules written, but they're also unwritten. And in order to to work successful, you have to have all these abilities to not only socialize properly, but also communicate properly, to address certain issues on an average scale that most of those with my issues can't. Um, and it's not right. It's not fair to me, because for me, in order to gain employment, I basically am expected to play a game without any rules. And how do you play a game without written instruction or knowing how to play it to begin with? And if you have deficits within a neurological cognitive sense, not everything comes natural. So that means that someone like me has to basically pretend their way out of a situation and hope for the best. And it's not fair, and it's not right. And without proper programs, without proper resources, without the proper educated staff in your life, you cannot live in a society that you're blind to. And when you're trying to find a job and you have the employer saying you're a liability straight to your face, when you probably have applied to this job and you have experience, years and years of experience, because in the situation that you're applying for. Like for me, I have my janitorial tech degree, and as well as floral arranging. And I've applied for cleaning jobs. And it's those cleaning jobs that basically either told me that I was a liability, and yet I've been cleaning people's homes on the side for close to 30 years. Actually, yeah, about 30 years. No matter the town I was in, I was busy cleaning people's homes because that was the only way I could get a job. Because, well, employers don't hire people with disabilities. Bottom line. What people think and know is wrong. And my aim is to educate people that not every disability is seen. And unless if you're highly trained in disability, you don't know what the heck you're looking for. And until Edmonton opens up and actually listens and understands and stops putting their head in the sand and pretending that people like me don't exist when we do. I know of about 50 people right here in Edmonton that are high functioning like me, but can't get a job. And if they do, it only lasts for a few weeks because they have too much thrown at them. And then next thing you know, they have a meltdown, which is basically how many, your brain is like a computer. How many windows and how many instructions can you give it before it crashes? Well, for some of us, our sensories are what causes the brain to basically go into overload, and essentially it becomes debilitating. And you can't think, logic is out the window. There's no common sense to it. And that's where the problem lies. For me, my sensory issues are in the audio and visual sense. So if it's too busy, or if it's too noisy, or a matter of both, I'm in trouble. And for that, I would need accommodation. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a liability because I need accommodation. But yet someone in a wheelchair, they're ready to accommodate because they look the part. My accessibility is being denied every time I turn around. I face bigotry and intolerance and lack of education every time, every day. And it's been like that for 10 years. I want to work. I can't get Aish because I'm married and my husband makes too much. So right now I'm a dependent on my husband. And frankly, this independent woman who's very proud wants better in her life and wants to be a contributing factor in her marriage, but she can't because she gets liability thrown at her. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to my friends. But yet, who's going to stand up for us? I'm only hoping you will. Thanks.